Everyone should be able to live in a safe, comfortable, and affordable home. Over the last 10 years, Surrey has become expensive and it is hard to live here. More and more people are being pushed off the city. Where can we live, or where can I live? My name is Lauren Simpson. I am community ambassador. I focus on hiring from people with disability. I connect info for the Surrey House Needs Report. I was part of the Housing and Accessibility Committee for BC Labour Party. I just made the survey to find out the top 3 issues in Surrey or what to work or other people shouldn't have a home. I would like to have in my own place to live someday. I don't want to live my parents forever.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Tickleman and I've known Lauren for almost 6 years. Lauren has done a lot to do with housing. She started by being a community ambassador for the Surrey Housing Needs Report, specifically focusing around people with disabilities, which was so great. She took the survey created by the City of Surrey and helped distribute it to hundreds of people to get feedback on what's the biggest need, what are people wanting out of affordable housing. And she transformed the whole survey into plain language, so more people were able to take the survey as well.
I love my community. It is important to feel safe because I can't go out in my community on my own and I don't feel anxiety or stressed. I really need a safe place and good place to live.
The Harmony Project came to the city in the spring of 2021, but I'd heard about it before just in talking with people in the community. I was really pleased for the project because we need this housing so desperately in Surrey. There is just no question about that. We don't have the kind of housing we need. We just recently saw the Housing Needs Report for Surrey, and clearly it identifies the need in Surrey for housing, not just this kind of housing that is for people with intellectual disabilities, but for seniors, for service workers, for school teachers. I've heard from lots and lots of people that are struggling to find housing. This project was going to cover all those bases.
So Harmony is an inclusive and affordable 91-unit rental apartment building that was supposed to be built in South Surrey. Lauren was super passionate about it because she actually wanted to live there.
Harmony is an inclusive apartment building in South Surrey that is for all the people. I want to live in Harmony because it's a safe place and inclusive space. Harmony is made important because people can afford rental place in South Surrey. They deserve a home.
Well, my story was the bicycle accident. I think it's about 24 years ago now, but in the last 10 years, my health deteriorated. I think there's many people that echo my story. We've worked, raised families, get injured, financial stressors that occur to no fault of your own, and you lose control. Moving around with different landlords and paying 80% of your income, it's very wearing. So you lose who you are.
I have lived here my whole life. When I had started university, I had moved out, and I actually had to move back home because I couldn't afford to live. The rent was way too expensive, and I was also working almost full time. However, when I finished university, I actually moved into Unity's first purpose-built rental, which was Chorus, and that was life-changing. I don't think I could have moved out if it weren't for Chorus. It gave me my first home. It was absolutely beautiful. It gave me a sense of community where I just felt so welcome, and I felt so happy.
I was involved with Harmony by speaking at the public hearing with the mayor and his council.
So when Harmony was at a public hearing, Lauren actually took it upon herself to do some consultations with some of the public. She talked to a ton of businesses and people around the property that Harmony was supposed to be built on, and just telling them what it was all about and how much it meant to her and just everybody in the community.
So having Harmony built would easily impact my business immediately because a couple of dancers that take the Saturday Diverse Abilities class would be able to literally come across the street and do their class. And that is huge. That is for all of us to have that accessibility to the things that we need and want and love is very, very important. So Harmony being built in the neighborhood near my school of dance would be a gift, would be an absolute plus. Absolute.
One of the things that Unity prides itself on is our extensive experience and understanding of consultation. The consultation for Harmony began 14 years ago and has continued throughout. The last 3 years, we've met with community stakeholders. We've met with people who desperately need housing. We have 200 people already who've expressed an interest to live in Harmony when it's built. And we also consulted extensively with our immediate neighbors. This location is ideal for a 6-story Harmony apartment. When we look across here, we're steps from a rapid transit hub, the B line that's going up there. There's malls, a gas station, and over there, it's actually going to be 8-story buildings. So, and even our property here within the city's own town center plan approved by the mayor and council allows for 6 stories. We get no breaks from the city of Surrey. We pay the same development cost charges and other fees that private developers do, while building housing that on average is 30% below market. Harmony is an apartment for people who live in Surrey. Unlike a private development, when a percentage of people are investors or from out of Surrey, the housing we build is for people who live in Surrey and who are being priced out of their neighborhoods.
I think this project, at least at this stage, is in the wrong location for that type of housing. And I've worked very, very hard over the years to put affordable housing and homeless shelters into communities that are the right communities to put it in. Basically, where the homeless live is where you put the homeless shelters in. I think it's a very difficult decision because we do need affordable housing, but we do have to make sure that we build it in communities that it will fit in and that it will work.
Some people don't understand. Harmony is, I want them to know that.
At the first public hearing, the mayor conflated the inclusive housing that Unity builds with housing for people experiencing homelessness, which is also desperately needed in our community. He also questioned whether Harmony was being built in a community where it was wanted. I was worried that he didn't understand the type of housing we were trying to build or the overwhelming support in the community for that type of housing.
They went through different stages of putting the proposal to the city, and the mayor was giving another month to get your proposal together, and they would do the Zoom phone calls with everybody. And in between there, the petition was put out, and I think over 6,500 people were in the community that were for it. And it wasn't just people who were going to move in. I listened to the 5 hours of that call.
For the record, our family is in full support of this project. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to express my opinion and support for the Harmony development.
I am speaking in favor of this project.
I speak in support. I'm calling to speak about and support the project and the realignment of the Semiahmoo Trail.
There is a chronic shortage of rental housing that is affordable, inclusive, and supportive.
The need for this type of social housing is evidenced by the overwhelming number of positive responses to this proposal.
We're not a commercial developer that is looking for traditional returns. We steward our lands for the benefit of the citizens of Surrey.
The Harmony project aligns within the city's updated Stage 1 Semiahmoo Town Centre Plan, which Council endorsed on March 9th, 2020.
I think that this is a very good project. It's dealing with a very important need in our community and something that really needs to be supported by Council.
The project will provide 74 net new affordable rental units with rents that roughly match the mix with our experience in our Chorus project.
On its own, the Harmony project won't solve the local housing crisis, but it would be a step in the right direction and a reasonable, attractive alternative to expensive condominiums and large single-family homes.
Given the advantage of such a project, I'm clearly at a loss as to what more is needed.
People who used to work in Coquitlam who would do the approvals of the buildings, like part of the engineering, and he said that Harmony had gone over the top of making sure they had covered all their bases. If it was space for trees, there was room to grow. They didn't max out anything, and they've placed people who were in the townhomes and already thought about that. I really don't understand where they could have said no.
Okay, any further comments, anyone? Seeing none, I'm going to call the question. All in favor? Against? Opposed?
Opposed. Opposed.
Opposed. Negative. And the mayor's opposed, so it gets defeated.
Does it make you feel sad?
Well, I'm disappointed, so yes.
So when I heard Harmony was turned down, I was devastated, and not so much, for me personally, because I have a home, I have a place to live, but it's for the people the hundreds of people that were counting on this to be built. I mean, there are people there who are living in bad situations. There are people there who have just been wanting to move out for years and years and years, and it's like your dreams were crushed. So it made me sad. It made me really, really sad for, all of the people, especially Lauren. I think when I had saw her the day after it got turned down, she just came in and she just started crying. She didn't know what to do. She felt so hurt, and I felt hurt for her.
Deflated, like really deflated. I mean, not having a stable place, not just paying high rent, but you got to face the fact that you are one of those vulnerable tenants. Where would I go? This place could sell. So, when you have been searching for years on the computer, keeping up with what's out there, with to hear about a project that might be built, to finally get one and get on a list is very rare. So to follow that project, and then, it's at that last stage to get built. You have days where you just want to really give up. I don't think people really realize what they're saying, how they're affecting the people that need it.
At the night of the public hearing, for 3.5 hours, seniors, families, students, frontline workers, and people with disabilities called in to support Harmony. 3 councillors also spoke impassioned words in support of the project. And then, without any reason being given, it was rejected by the mayor and 4 councillors. If there was a valid reason to reject the project, such as the height of the building or parking, surely they could have just said so. For the thousands of people who voiced their support of Harmony, the silence from the mayor and those councillors spoke volumes. They deserve an answer as to why their dream of a safe and affordable home was dashed.
I felt devastated for the people that got turned down, and especially for the people that phoned in and it was housing for them, and they were so looking forward to it. I felt embarrassed a bit for the city of Surrey on whole, and I felt really, really annoyed at some of my colleagues for not, at the very least, saying why they were voting against it. So I have huge concerns about why this project was turned down. Certainly to me, it was the right thing to do, the right place and the right time.
Many people spoke of Harmony. I don't know why the mayor or council saying no. When I heard they say no, I felt disappointed. I was hurt and I'm sad. Sad means I'm emotional, and everyone was really hurt. Harmony was meant them just a project. It was a home. It was supposed to be my home.
It's been quite the ride. It's been a rough year, and to think that someone would not be able to live somewhere just because. I think we're a better world than that. I think, Michaela and I talk about, we're beautiful. We love to dance. We love to give back. We love to create. That's for everyone. So that should be where you live. It should be where you shop, where you think. So inclusivity should not be a thing. It should just be. It should just be.
So the housing crisis is not going away. In fact, it's getting worse. We continue to get weekly calls from people forced to move away from the neighborhoods they grew up in. Lauren and Christina and hundreds of others are relying on Unity so they can have a safe and affordable home. Because of this, Unity will not give up on the Harmony dream. We know that the community supports a Surrey where all people belong. We will do everything we can to get Harmony built. We need to make sure that Surrey has leaders who believe in a city where everyone is treated fairly and all people can belong.
I need from the city to be treated like I am a Farmer person because I am a Farmer person. I want my opinion to matter because I am part of the city. The housing is a home-wide, and I supported the project like Harmony will help the people like me find a home. So many people want and need a place like Harmony. I am really excited in the future. I know that one day Harmony will be built someday.